welcome. You are listening to the Lama podcast. I'm Gunjan.
I'm Rajiv.
Rajiv, I saw this phrase. We've been using it from quite some time now. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, which means maintaining a positive outlook while also being realistic about potential challenges. It's about maintaining that balance, being optimistic with a pragmatism way of navigating life.
Yeah.
And my question here is that when we say prepare for the worst, aren't we thinking negatively? And how
Well,
much can man
depends.
be prepared? Till what extent?
Yeah, exactly. And for what?
And for what?
What is worse for
Right.
you?
What is worse for
So,
you?
so that's why I have problem with this phrase. I think it's more of a cliche, has no value, no sense.
So,
Because
phrase like both the parts of the
yes, both the
okay.
parts. So, for example, when you say hope for the best, exactly what best? Best can be money-wise, can be $1 million, 10 million, 100 million, a
Winning lottery
billion.
without even buying it.
Yeah, so lottery would be lottery in real sense is when you win it without buying a ticket because somebody gives you a ticket or something. Otherwise, it's only an investment. If you buy the ticket, it is an investment because you're investing whatever, even 1 rupee or 10 rupees, whatever it is, you are investing and you're hoping for dramatic returns. So that's not a winning the lottery. That's like investment. So the main thing is that the reason that I have problem with this phrase is it gives you a false sense of or an illusionary sense of security or comfort, and it will not help you to be prepared in real terms. In one of the I think discussions we talked about, and I also write about this in my book Rise, and where my position has been that you should always be prepared. Be prepared for whatever life throws at you.
So, being prepared, does it really mean catching up with everything that is going on in the world? What does actually
No,
being prepared mean? And
be
that's one
prepared.
part of life, right? It's again catching up with what is going on latest in the market, always taking your health as a priority. But somewhere you will lose something. It's not like you
Yeah,
can
you will.
maintain everything at the same time. Either it has to be
No,
family, either your health, job.
correct,
It's
correct.
really you need to be on top of everything if you want to be.
No, that does not. See, when you say hope for the best and prepare for the worst, that means that you are covering all your bases. What I am saying is just be prepared. What that means is that life may throw challenges at you, but mentally, psychologically, you are prepared to face those challenges, irrespective of what is happening. So, for example, let's say that you are saving money for your retirement, right? And then suddenly you lose your job. Now, what happens to your retirement plan? Are you prepared to, so the question is, are you prepared to tide over that challenge and come back to life? So that's where I stand on this, that always be prepared for whatever things happen around you, whatever life throws at you. And then, hope for the best or all that, that is simply to comfort yourself. That's all. Has no other value.
Yes, I want to pause here and go a little back in history.
Mhm.
So this
Mhm.
was more for war scenes. And this actually came from the philosophy which has roots from uh, Greece, that which emphasized to be prepared for adversity. It was never to be here in the modern life.
Yes. So, see, as a war strategy, I agree. So, war strategy, you have to maybe figure out, what are the worst things that can happen. And but that is for one specific, purpose
Era, yes.
or era, right? So, or you can say that I am going to hope for the best and prepare for the worst for finances. for my financial, no, just like you said, that life is so three-dimensional or multi-dimensional, I would say, that you cannot be always prepared for everything in your life. So
True.
you have to pick and choose what are the things that really, really, really matter to you. And then you prepare for the worst in those situations. So if money matters to you a lot, which I think 99% people will say yes, hardly anybody would say no. But the problem is that people only focus on that aspect of life. They lose sight of other things that are important, like relationships, like friendships, like enjoyment, like health. So what happens is while they are busting their ass to prepare for the worst for financial terms, they are simply hoping for the best for the rest of things. But they don't realize that their health is going down the drain. They are getting old. Relationships are unruly. The rest of the life gets messed up just because you focus on covering your bases on finances. I've seen also people who only focus on relationships and don't focus on job or career and finances, and then they suffer later on.
So point I want to bring here is a very psychological one, that when you're hoping for something to happen and it does not, like, prepare for the worst, बोलने के लिए अच्छा है, करने के लिए अच्छा है, but then we really don't do that. But when we hope for the best and things are not going the way we wanted, it leads to a lot of stress, anxiety, or things are not happening as per me. How do we deal with that kind of situation?
No, but that's exactly what I'm saying, that you're hoping for the best, but you're not preparing for the worst. Preparing for the worst is exactly that you are prepared to take the dips along with the highs. If your plan is not going as per your plan, which never does, life will always throw a monkey wrench at the time when you are least prepared for it.
Yes,
That's
true.
like my law, that
Least prepared doesn't matter. And I'll just share this very personal story. My son was taking a solo trip, and we prepared everything, that what's my phone number, what's dad's phone number, if he gets lost in a lift, what he's supposed to do, if he gets lost in any line anywhere. So I just prepared him for everything, and I dropped him. On my way back home, he texted me, Mama, I need money. I was like, he needs money? He has his card and cash, everything. And we did this exercise that because of AI, there is a lot of deceiving which is happening.
Yeah.
So we've set
fraud
up a
may happen.
password. Yes, we've set up a password that, we'll ask for it and we'll not exchange anything before sharing that. I was about to tell the driver that, can you please make a U-turn? We have to go back to the airport. And then he said, Mama, you fell for it. You didn't ask for the password.
See,
Again, how much you're prepared when it's actually the time you get a brain freeze.
yes, exactly. So that's why I'm saying that you can never be prepared for the worst, because how will you react in that situation? You have no clue about.
Yes, you'll react, you'll respond.
Like yeah, I think in one of the episodes we talked about it, right? That the first thing that gets thrown out at the time of war is the plan of war.
Yes, Rajiv, I vaguely remember this phrase. I may be not completely correct. It goes like, the first casualty in war is a plan of action. So I think war people are prepared for that as well, that, whatever they plan, they cannot be like rigidly sticking to that plan. They have to be agile.
Yeah, because you see, you don't know, there's so many variables in life.
Right.
When you are preparing for the worst, when you say you're preparing for the worst, you're only thinking based on your capacity to think or imagination. And that's where the fallacy is. I cannot imagine everything and anything that may happen. You plan your action, you plan your day, you go into the office. How many times has a day progressed as per your plan or what you imagine? I would say I'd be
Hardly.
surprised ever.
No matter how
Why?
much to-do list I make, no matter how much
Everything.
homework I do a day before, that tomorrow I will get started with this. there will always be one MIRA action item,
Yes.
which I have to
Yes.
take care then and there.
You know,
Yes.
I covered that in one of the, in I think presentations in the same book, and I talk about that. Forget about the entire day. In one meeting, there'll be some monkey wrench that somebody will throw, or something will happen, and it can get derailed very fast. So that's what I'm saying. That the phrase "prepare for the worst" actually gives you a misguided, cushion. I would rather say be prepared. Prepare yourself for anything that may happen to you. What that means is that you have to be stable. So you have to have anchor in your own self that if somebody, let's say, tries to push you into a corner, you don't get pushed. It's like I think I gave an example of that Japanese doll, Daremu or something, it's called. And I remember that it was very, very popular during 70s or 80s. So the doll actually is shaped, like Buddha, a Buddha, sitting. And the philosophy behind the Japanese doll is that it gives you a perspective on life that you have to have such strong gravity, that's the beauty of the doll. You push it, it will swing and it
And
will
it
come back
bounced
to its
back.
center.
Yes, yes, I
Right?
remember that.
So that is what I say, or that is what I mean when I say be prepared. And there's no way that you can be prepared for the worst, because one, like you gave the example, you don't even know how you will react, and then you don't even know what the worst can be.
There's another perspective that I want to bring here, Rajiv. Media influence.
Yeah.
Every time you pick up a newspaper, there'll be an article, tomatoes are not good for health. After 2 days, same newspaper, same column, tomatoes are really good for health. Any and everything is cancerous. Any and everything. And during COVID, nothing. It was COVID. What happened? All
Everything
cancer patients were cured. What happened?
Yes.
So there were two things which were really in news. One is cardiac arrest. Another was cancer. And when COVID came, all these things took a back burner. Then it was just COVID. That you'll step out of house, you'll get COVID. You'll breathe, you'll get COVID. You'll like any and everything you do, you will be infected. How media influences our life, and how do we stay mentally strong? That okay, whatever they are saying, you'll be like, okay, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm eating fresh or homemade, and I am meticulous about what I'm preparing for myself and what I'm eating. So let's keep that aside, that these things can cause cancer. Microwave can cause cancer. Heating on gas can cause cancer. And it was really bizarre at one point of time. And I close the newspaper and I'm like, get lost. I don't even want to read it. If it's who wants to read all this early in the morning, right? You're preparing.
But we do. So see, two things. One, what is the biggest cause of death?
The stress because of studies, like
No.
suicide cases, but yeah, different.
No.
Okay.
No. Birth.
Okay.
So anything that is born has to die.
Yes.
How you die, there be millions and millions different things. You brought up COVID times. Take yourself back to February of 2020. Did anybody in the world, everybody was following that cliche, hope for the best and plan for the worst, or prepare for the worst. Forget February 2020. March 10th, 2020.
Yes.
March 10th. Or maybe March 14th, right? Because all around the world, shutdown started happening around March 16th. 22nd March.
Yes.
Right? Okay, 20th. So March 20th. How many of us were prepared for what is going to happen for the next 2 years?
And then, in the name of preparedness, we were just stocking up the groceries and liquid soap.
And people were fighting for toilet paper in the Costco up here in the US.
Yeah.
Literally, they were carrying knives.
Okay.
They were ready to stab each other just because they should not run out toilet paper. So, what I'm saying is that how the masses will react to a situation, how you individually will react to a situation, you never know. Because whatever you are preparing for is in your mind. Even if you do, the drills, like, in US, I'm sure you have seen, at least in, California, they do that, they tell everybody that you should do the earthquake drill, you prepare the earthquake, kit, because we are in the earthquake zone. If you are in the Midwest, then I'm sure they, talk about the hurricanes and all that, prepare for that. But still, every year on year, in spite of all preparation, so many people die.
Even in our offices, we have this fire drill and all. And I say this, that when actually, God forbid, it should not happen. But when actually there is a fire, we don't know. But again, Rajiv, these drills prepare you. And I'll give you an example. I don't remember if it was in South India or in like southern part of India or in our neighboring country. I really cannot recall, but there was a fire in school. And teacher asked kids, no, there is nothing. Everything is under control. Be seated where you are. And then those casualty happened. And it was a very tragic event. I was working for a special school. And then after looking at that news, we were like, okay, no, we have never done fire drill and we should do it. We realized that kids who are less mobile, they were slowing down other kids as well. And then we came up with a plan that, if someone can lift up the kids and just run outside rather than forming a line, asking every kid to move, it will not happen. So what evacuation we were doing in 10 minutes, after certain practices, we were able to do it in 2.5 minutes. And it should not never happen. But again, we were at least prepared that what are the points where we have to actually take care.
Yes.
So
yes.
Prepare.
But you see, again, you're preparing for one particular situation,
right.
one sliver of this thing, right? Apart from fire, if let's say fire and earthquake happens, or something else happens, terrorist attack happens, no, the same drill will not apply.
It will not. And
what I'm saying is,
yes.
The thing is that 9/11, if you read about what happened, the North Tower, when it got stuck, hit, the drill was, and everybody followed, they started walking down the stairs. But then they started now saying, oh, okay, it seems to be nothing, you can go back to your desk. Everybody started walking back up. A lot of people would have been saved if they just followed their gut instinct and walked out of the building. So the main thing is be prepared. I use these two words, but there's a lot of meaning behind it. Be prepared means, one, you have to understand what is your capacity or capability to react in a certain situation. How can you prepare yourself to first stay calm in any given situation? You lose a job, there's death in the family, there's tragic event, accident happen, fire happen, any adverse situation happens. What is the first thing that I would say that you do? Stay calm.
Breathe.
Whichever method works for you. Stay calm. But it's almost impossible.
It is easier said than done.
Exactly. So
you will panic. Yes, you will panic. There will be panic attacks. It will be difficult to maintain the situation and the people around you. So yes, it's
everything. People around you will overreact or react. And even if you are calm, obviously there's a lot of this thing that, hey, maybe I'm missing something. There's herd mentality comes in, mob mentality comes in. So many other things happen. So you have to understand that each of us, in peace times like we are talking today, it's very happy-go-lucky. And yes, we are preparing for the worst, but we can't even imagine what worse can happen.
Even, things like stampedes when they happen, right? People are running around. My simple thing is, why can't everyone stand at the same place at the same time? If you're not running around, if you're not walking, if there's no movement, how will it happen? And it was not like there was a fire, there was a bull which was running and crushing people, and people were just wanted to save their lives. No, it just happened. People are running. Why? Because everyone is running.
But it's not, see, that's what I'm saying. It is easier said than done. Now,
Exactly.
we are saying it, but let's say you are in a crowded place and suddenly somebody says, oh, there's a snake and starts running.
Was it
I'm
panic?
sure that you and I, we will start running too,
Because everyone is running.
that time it's flight, your flight or
Fight
fight
or
or flight
flight.
takes. I would say that the phrase should be read as that prepare for the best and prepare for the worst. Just be prepared, because I have seen more people, ruining their life when they were not prepared for the best. How many people have died of heart attack because they won the lottery? How many people ruined their entire life because they won the lottery? Because people are not prepared for the best.
Rajiv, what are the practical strategies that one can imply to have a journey of, again, as the theme is self-actualization, self-realization? How can we imply those practical strategies?
See, and this is again, you have to build your own confidence,
It's
your
an
own
individual's journey,
mindset.
mindset,
Yeah.
right?
And I've gone through, many times throughout my career, where you have risk of losing job. I've lost job. Sometimes the company didn't do well, or funding went out, so the group, you get laid off or you get fired, whatever, and you're not prepared for it. But the main thing is that, at that time, you have to understand that you still have the life in front of you. So you still have the choice of what you can do with the rest of your life. And the way I approach this thing is that, no, I'm educated, I have experience, something or the other, I will be able to do something or the other. Yes, I may not have the same position, I may not have the same paycheck that I had earlier, or I may not have the same sense of quote unquote security, but I will still be able to live comfortably. I will be able to figure out something to do with my life, irrespective, unless like I'm incapacitated. Even then, even then.
Right. Even rephrasing the sentences, like my mom used to say, "Soch ke bola karo." I'll just say out anything, and then I've realized that if you ask a skier not to crash in trees, he will crash in trees. If you ask a pilot not to crash in mountains, he will crash in mountains. If you say that you are in a jungle safari, close your eyes and like imagine you're in a jungle safari, close your eyes and don't think of blue elephant. You will think of a blue elephant, and this is very relatable. My son was really young, and as a mom of a kid, I was always in apologetic mode. I'm sorry, my son disturbs a lot and all. And then my neighbor said, just ask him not to jump after 9 p.m. My son was quietly doing his homework. Really, he was quietly doing his homework. And then as soon as it was 9 p.m., he stepped up the chair and he jumped like it was a thud. I was like, this was exactly what they were saying. Please don't jump after 9 p.m. So we just somehow.
He wanted to declare that it's 9 p.m. now.
It's 9 p.m. now. So yes. I started rephrasing my sentences in a more positive manner, what used to be earlier. But yes, I think just having a constructive planning and rephrasing what you want to say in a little positive manner helps.
Yeah, see, these are psychological things. I agree with you on that. That, the cliches and all these are more meant for making you strong psychologically. But you have to see it like that. Don't fall into the trap of making that as a crutch. That's what I'm saying. So yes, even I hope, if I go and buy a lottery ticket, I am hoping to win the ticket. I keep telling my friends that, the reason I don't buy a lottery ticket is because I cannot take that loss. It's a huge loss, because now you're expecting to win the lottery and then you don't win it, then, it's a loss for me. So psychological loss, I was very hoping to win the $100 million and no, I didn't win, even a dollar. So if you look at these phrases or these, cliches or whatever you want to call them, more like psychological statements to give you some psychological strength, yes, then they have a purpose to solve. But don't get hung up on them.
Yes. All I want to say after this discussion is that when life gives lemons,
Bring more tequila. If you're above 18, I would say, or 21, I don't know, whatever the age is now. Right?
yes, thank you. Thank you so thank you so
Otherwise,
much.
otherwise make lemonade.
Otherwise, yes, make lemonade. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Rajiv, for this discussion. Do visit our website, thelielama.com, THELIELLAMA.com. Let us know if you want to come on our show. We'll be more than happy to host you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.